The Bad Batch is on the horizon. The synopsis talks about how Clone Force 99 will be finding their way in a rapidly changing galaxy in the immediate aftermath of the Clone Wars. They'll take on mercenary missions as they struggle to stay afloat and find new purpose. I really like that description, and I've been hoping it would be true for all clones, not just the main characters. With Rex's appearance in the latest trailer, I think that makes sense, and I'm hoping that part of the purpose he creates for himself is to help his brothers remove their chips and to become themselves again. We know Wolf and Gregor have joined Rex by the time of Star Wars Rebels, but surely he approached more than just 2 clones. So here are my top 6 or so clones I hope we get to see at some point during the Bad Batch in no particular order. First is Cody. Let's get the obvious one out of the way. We were all hoping to see him return in Star Wars Rebels, and it just never happened. I think it's important that we see Rex and Cody interact after Order 66. While some clones will go with Rex and remove their chips, I'd love to see some other clones do the opposite. Maybe they'd rather accept the chip instead of remove it and truly face what they did when they were forced to betray the Jedi. A big theme of the Clone Wars series is about how the clones are individuals despite being genetically the same person. Their unique experiences shape them, so I want to see a variety of responses if they're approached by Rex, and Cody, to me, seems like the saddest choice for the story to turn Rex down and remain with the Empire. Speaking of clones at odds with Rex, I want to see Dogma again. In the Umbara arc, he was very loyal to Pong Krell, and he seemed way too into following orders and rules, but of course, he winds up being the one to shoot Krell, saving Rex from being arrested. We don't currently know his fate, but I'd like to think Rex would want to seek him out and save him from wherever he would have wound up had he been the one to execute their general. Dogma seems like the kind of person that would have gone along with the Empire at one point, but maybe his experiences on Umbara changed him. Out of all the clones we met in the Clone Wars, Cut LaQuan was maybe the most individual from the earliest point of the series. We saw a clone that almost immediately went against what he was created to do and instead carved out a life for himself on Felucia. Rex initially looked down on the man, but came to respect him by the end of the episode, leaving him to live the rest of the war in peace. I get questions about Cut a lot, so I know I'm not the only one wondering how he's doing after Order 66. I think Rex would want to check in on him as well, seeing as he was a character that opened up a lot of questions regarding free will and loyalty in his mind. Okay, this next one is a stretch, but it's not impossible. What's Delta Squad up to? The Commandos made famous in the Republic Commando game are canon thanks to their appearance in the Season 3 episode Witches of the Mist, so they're out there somewhere. The Bad Batch may have not taken their place so much as their prominence in the new canon, so it would be kind of awesome to see the two groups have to face each other at some point. If we're talking clones that wind up staying with the Empire, they would make some frightening antagonists for Clone Force 99. We know we're getting Omega in the series, who I'm assuming is a clone, but she is just one young clone in the universe. We saw quite a few younger clone cadets in the Clone Wars series that wouldn't have grown to adulthood yet. If we're exploring the fate of the clones after the rise of the Empire, I'd be very interested to know what happens with the generation that hadn't fully grown up yet. I doubt the new government will be doing them any favors, so it might fall to older clones to help them find their place. And of course, 2 more obvious choices, but I really hope we see Wolf and Gregor. That seems likely considering what we know in Star Wars Rebels, but I really would like to know what happened to Gregor specifically. The last time we saw him, he was exploding on Abafar. How did he survive and what drove him crazy? I'd love to find out. But those are all my ideas, so what do you think, and what clones do you hope to see in the Bad Batch? Let me know in the comments. If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel to keep up with all our Star Wars and Bad Batch coverage, follow us on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and consider checking out our Patreon page. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.